In order to extend story across a variety of touch points or distribution platforms, the first key step that has to be made is to understand the fundamentals of the world of the story, or the message of the brand. So the distinction is really not all that much. You're immersing yourself in either the storyteller's vision or in the corporate brand vision. Once you understand those fundamental messages, the archetype of those narratives, it's easier to either build a skeleton of narrative, as we help to do with Coca-Cola, or help extend the narratives as we do with some of the big Hollywood tentpoles. We're at an age where it's more and more easy to jump over the commercials or to skip the ads in publications because it's all digital now. So we're going to have to learn how to tell engaging and immersive stories about our brands, or have our brands somehow impact narrative in an interesting and a surprising and engaging way. Not in a way that annoys people, because it's going to be easier to turn away from that sort of thing. So we're going to start creating narratives out of these products the way that we used to in the 1700s and 1800s, when a story had to be told in order to engage a crowd to purchase the product. We have a couple of generations now that have grown up having been immersed in digital gaming and interactive game content. So that's going to always be a major dab of paint on our palette with regard to telling stories across different platforms. I tend to distinguish what I do versus gamification in that if the primary goal is to sell something by having somebody tally up a certain kind of series of actions or earn a certain series of points, that's not as interesting to me personally. It's a part of what can be created in multi-platform storytelling, but it's not the most interesting part to me. To me, the major incentive for getting somebody to become involved with your brand or your story is to give them a hell of a good story. I think there's definitely room for print. Publishing and print in general is one of the last groups to come to the table in terms of the multi-platform discussion, and it's been the most resistant to adapting itself to a new type of engagement with the audience. So we're still seeing tablets and other kinds of devices mimic the old-style reading experience. That's going to change in the next few years, and we're going to see less and less page turning in our devices and more full and deep and immersive interactivity where text and image and video and music all coalesce into a communication that I feel will be extremely powerful. It will not take the place of the standalone reading experience, but it's going to be a major way that publishers will be able to monetize their content, and for authors to give birth to intellectual properties that will become viable across different media platforms.